I pulled this one up because I just find it's so fascinating, like how we are marketed products and how we don't even realize there are certain things that you eat pretty much maybe regularly that you probably shouldn't be eating. So today I want to talk about 3 things to remove immediately. And then in addition, if we have time in the end, I have also wrote up things that you can add back in, but these are also things that we may have talked about in the past. So it's just kind of like a retouch of things that you should add in. So the number one, yes, high fructose corn syrup is definitely one of them. And here's why. I'm going to explain why. We all know that there has been like a lot of controversy around corn, just corn in general. Is corn good for you? Is it not good for you? Is it organic? Is it not organic? Is it hybrid? So going back to the history of corn, back in 1930, a hybrid seed was actually developed to plant sturdier stalks. And the reason is because they needed to get them close together so they could resist pests and being blown over. So that was in 1930. Then in 1947, so now we have all of this corn, right? In 1947, scientists then figured out a way how to convert that into ammonium nitrate. And that was used as an explosive in World War II to increase the nitrogen levels. And so now corn is growing at a faster rate and we have more corn than they know what to do with. So now they're using it for the nitrogen in the World War II, and they have more. What can we do with it? So scientists then discovered how to turn it into a syrup, a high fructose corn syrup. So in 1970, the U.S. Farm Policy encouraged farmers to grow and sell the corn at any price. So from 1930 to 1970, we have massive amounts of corn. And guess what happened in 1970? Fast food chains. Fast food chains started putting high fructose corn syrup into their hamburgers and anything else that they could to make it taste really good. And then that turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry. So now we have all this food that you're eating through the drive-through that's used as an explosive in World War II. I mean, this is insane, right? So during World War II, the science that they converted it to use, they have all this corn syrup and it's used from the corn stalk and not the actual corn. So now we've got a double duty going on. You've got corn that you're eating, and then you've got the high fructose corn syrup coming from the corn stalk. So then when the war was over, they had to do what they needed to do with it. So they started finding ways to add it into food, such as baking with it, like Cheetos, Doritos, finding out how they can make it liquefied to stay good in yogurts. And so all this food that's marketed as healthy, like healthy yogurt, it's now with high fructose corn syrup. Most of the yogurt that you'll see, like Yoplait and Dannon and all those yogurts that are on the shelf that are saying, eat this yogurt because it's full of probiotics, look at the back. It's the first ingredient is usually high fructose corn syrup, other than the milk. So it's literally everywhere. Now they're starting to find out that high fructose corn syrup, there's been that controversy, like you've seen the commercials come up where they're like the father's talking to the daughter, but it's corn. So it's healthy because corn is a vegetable. Like, why do we have a bad rap? It is a bad rap because high fructose corn syrup has high levels of mercury and other chemicals. So the enzymes in your digestive tract have to break down at a 50-50 glucose fructose. Since high fructose corn syrup is chemically processed, it contains more fructose. This doesn't get digested and it ends up going very rapidly into your bloodstream. So high doses have actually, going back to the gut health, high doses have actually been linked to leaky gut because of the chemicals and the way that your digestive enzymes cannot break down the high fructose corn syrup. It literally punctures holes into your intestines. Then it goes into your bloodstream and it triggers inflammation. Again, that's the leaky gut. So common foods that you find high fructose corn syrup in, and this is insane, like our kids are eating it left and right. It's in cake, it's in cookies, it's in yogurt, salad dressing. You think salad dressing, right? It's in regular salad dressing, frozen foods, TV dinners, bread, common bread right off the shelf, canned fruit, juice, granola bars, breakfast cereals, sauces, condiments, cookies, crackers, coffee creamer. Look at your coffee creamer. Energy drinks, sports drinks, jams, jellies, ice cream. And those are just half of the list that I was able to find. So yeah, so high fructose corn syrup is my number one. And that is the reason why. Yeah, okay. So the next one is palm oil. Here's why palm oil is on this list for me. I'm just, I made these because I like through school, I learned about like these ingredients and how bad they are for your body and like why they are just kind of like put on the shelves. And the reason that palm oil was put on into a lot of food is because if you remember a few years ago, 10, 15-ish years ago, the US banned adding in trans fats into foods. So if you remember that controversy, they had to take the trans fats out. And so now all the companies are marketing like potato chips, not made with trans fats. But in return, what they were using was palm oil instead. So that was their reverse. Okay, manufacturers started using the palm oil because number one, it's expensive and it can cook at a high smoke temperature. Palm oil is not really as bad for your body, so to speak, because it is an oil, it is a palm, but it's not as bad as like a high fructose corn syrup, but it does a lot of damage to the environment. And so there has been such a high demand for palm oil because of the US laws and rules now that forests have been cut down, which then destroys the biodiverse regions such as rainforests, and it's a contributor to climate change. So when the forests are lost, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere and it causes the global warming, and also causes a loss of homes to all these endangered species, especially like in the rainforest. If you guys ever get a chance, Leonardo DiCaprio has a documentary on global warming. And this is like one of the things that are brought up, and you should see like the plowed fields of palm trees. And it's like, it's actually really sad. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you can actually see where like there's rainforests that are protected, and there's more protected now, but there are rainforests that are on this, like the outskirts of the rainforest that are not protected, cleared, gone. So, they have to make way. So they found these fields, like 300 football fields is what it takes every hour to plant a palm tree, but it will also take like 100 and something years for these palms to grow. It's like a really bad cycle for the environment. But palm oil is mostly used in junk food. So it's used mostly like where I see it the most. Like the kids are like, I don't like the peanut butter that you pick out. I like Peter Pan. Well, Peter Pan is like peanut butter, and it's the first ingredient is palm oil, not the peanuts. So it's like it gives it that, because why the peanut butter is so creamy is because it gives it that textury, velvety, smooth feel. And so it's like, it has a lot of flavor in it, a lot of salt, minimal peanuts, lots of palm oil. It's also in a strange one. It's an ice cream. Chocolate, that's super common. Chocolate has palm oil. Margarine, I'm sure you guys probably know that that's pretty much what margarine is. Crackers, like Ritz crackers. Also cookies like Doritos and chips like, cookies like Oreos and chips like Doritos. That's kind of where the palm oil. So you do typically find it in junk food. So in addition, where the health concerns come in with the palm oil, it does increase high cholesterol levels, and it is high in saturated fat. So the last one is energy drinks. We all love energy drinks. I'm sure we've all had our round with energy drinks, and I'm sure we've all been addicted to one type of energy drink when Red Bull came out, and then Monster came out, and all these fabulous energy drinks that, especially teenagers are walking around drinking it. They have really like taken over like the supplement industry. Like energy drinks are just like a thing, everybody thinks that they have to have them to be able to work out. So a little bit of history on the energy drinks. The energy drink was actually introduced back in 1960, although it's a more common thing now. It's been around since 1960. And so when it came out, companies got on it and they tried to like compete with each other by adding ingredients like, oh, this one's better for you because it has B6. Well, B6 is a vitamin that we all need for energy, right? So they add in the B6. Then the next competitor comes out like, I'm going to add in some taurine, and I'm going to add in glutamine, and I'm going to add in, what's that other one? Quercetin, I think. So they started adding all these other ones in that your body naturally gets from food, or naturally gets from, like vitamin D from the sun, or extra vitamin C. You can take all these supplements as long as they're, a supplement, but you don't need extra supplements in your energy drink on top of the caffeine that they're already putting in there. So now we have all these extra ingredients in you, and your heart spikes up, and you're like, that, and you get that feel good, like, it makes me work out, because it's making you crazy. So energy drinks has actually been marketed so hard that has become, just like in 1 year in 2005, when competitors started putting out, came a $2 billion industry, $2 billion industry in 2005. Like, that's insane. That's mind blowing, right? That's how people got so wrapped up in the energy drinks. But they also act as an appetite suppressant. So now you're drinking the energy drink and you've got all of this extra things in your body that you don't really need, and you're not eating real food, right? So you've got like kind of a double whammy going on. Also, if you look at the energy drinks, they probably have a high fructose corn syrup or some type of sugar in it, and unnecessary caffeine. So you might have like a green tea extract caffeine in there, but then they have caffeine. Like, they're just adding a caffeine supplement. Large doses of all the other things that you really don't need, because you do get them from food, you can get them from tea, you can get them in a much natural way. Ginseng is one of them. That's like one thing that's added, and it should not be in an energy drink. The high doses of all these extra ingredients can cause nerve damage, super dangerous, diarrhea, blood clots, and allergic reactions. Not to mention, when your kids get a hold of it, very dangerous. Again, going back to the FDA does not require exactly how much is in there. They just require you to list what's in there. So it might say you have 25 milligrams of green tea extract. That's their guess. They're like, okay, we're just gonna, we're gonna make this big batch, and we're gonna throw in 5,000 milligrams of caffeine. We're gonna divide that up over 500 bottles, and let's just wing it, and they just put it on there, and it's really not accurate. So you got to be super careful with the stimulants that are added in, especially if you have a reaction to any type of stimulant. So that was my third one. 3 things that I don't think that okay, I may back up a little bit. I have been trying and looking at the energy drink Celsius. I don't feel that one is half as bad. Again, you're taking a chance with the amount of ingredients that are listed on the bottle. So it's like, the ingredients are good. I've had some, and it's almost like it doesn't make my heart pound. It seems like it's okay. The ingredients are natural, although it's not an organic product. And again, you're just winging it when they say it's 25 milligrams of caffeine, that it's 25 milligrams of caffeine. Otherwise, it doesn't seem so bad. It doesn't have like the artificial dyes. It doesn't have the artificial sweeteners. And so it seems okay. If I was going to say you want to stay on an energy drink, sure, try that one, maybe. Personally, myself, take the Energize, which is a Beachbody product. It's a scoop, so you can actually give yourself, how much you want or how least amount you want. The only thing that I feel from it is like kind of like a tingling sensation. And what that is, it's the reaction to the quercetin that's in it, and it just makes your blood flow. So you might feel like a little tingly, but what it does is it's supposed to help with like your memory function. So that way, if like, you're doing a workout and you're like lifting, and your body's like, oh yeah, I know this one, I've done it before. So you can go pretty good on this. You can go a little bit extra heavier. It gives you that little bit of extra stamina. So that way, if you're doing cardio, you feel like you have that extra push to keep going. I like the Energize. Again, you can kind of take as much or as little of it that you want. It really only has like 5 ingredients in it. There's nothing else added. It doesn't come in a liquid form. So there's no like citric acid in it to help like keep it on the shelf a little longer. So if you want to try the Energize, that might be one I would suggest, or maybe the Celsius.